Hey guys. Hey Jess. Hey, thank you. Thank you for re-upping and for upgrading. Much appreciated. All of it. Let me bring up the desktop. Let me bring up the online version of Course in Miracles. Who's here? Squirrel Sniper? Hey Sniper and Jess. I think I said we're on lesson 55, right? Man, 55 days. 55 days into the year, 55 days into the course for those who've been following along, sticking with us. Hey Anthony. Hey Daniel. I am good. Hey Kat. Hope everyone is good as well. Good as well. I hope everyone is good too. We're going to wait for our friend Anna. Or at least a few minutes. She might not be able to make it today. Some days she can't, but she does watch the replays. So she's always in mind in what we're doing. Been keeping the morning sessions a little bit briefer. I was shooting for an hour, but there she is. Hey, Anna. I was just talking about you. We're still in review, and we're reviewing lesson 55. Lesson 55 covers 21 up to 20, up to 25. 25 is one of my favorites. 25 was given to me sort of as a mantra by a great teacher that has appeared in my life, David Fishman. He's been practicing the course for about 50 years. He's an example. Him and Vicky Poppy, quite a few others, have been examples for me. I wrote about that this morning. Mighty companions, seen and unseen. Do you want to hear what I wrote, or do you want to go into the lessons? What do you want to do first? You guys let me know. I'm a little lightheaded this morning. I don't know why. Cypress says, yes, please. Okay. Thank you, Sniper. Mighty companions. By the way, I'm just right now generating an image on Google Gemini to go with this that I'll put on my, both on Facebook as well as my YouTube page. And so I've come to find that I am truly blessed by what A Course in Miracles refers to as mighty companions. Those friends, both seen and unseen, who walk beside me on the way that I have chosen. They are vital in my life now, bringing light to those darkest places that once kept me blind. These friends work miracles, and more so, they teach me to work miracles in my life as well. So for me, this has been a long period of learning trust, finally surrendering the notion that I move through life alone. I've recognized that I'm recognizing that I have never really been alone before. How my deep sense of loneliness was only based upon these false perceptions offered by a demanding ego. There are mighty companions in this world, and I don't always understand their role, not specifically at least, but I'm learning to trust in the perfection of their arrangement, appearing in ways that might be beyond my present understanding, yet knowing only love is real, and that they walk in the light beside me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. You need to fix that writing up just a bit. I'm not much of an editor. What's it says? I've been holding my breath for half an hour. What have you been doing that for? Hey, Sad. So you have hiccups. There you go. Cypress says, what's the matter? As long as it's causing a code resin persistence isn't stationary, just a breeze. Style says, does a straw have one hole or two? Good question. I will contemplate that upon the tree of Ro. If you're familiar with Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan, the only Conan that really matters. Except for Conan O'Brien, who's a very funny guy. Hey, Laura. Kenna, how are you? All right. We're not going to do the breath work with this lesson today. We are just going to go right in. My ex-wife is a twin. She is a mirror image twin, meaning she's left-handed, her sister is right-handed. And they do look an awful lot alike. And oddly enough, I dated a girl way back in 1988. I actually had a crush on her in the early 80s. She was a friend of my best friend. We used to go over to his house to party, and he had actually had two older sisters. They were twins. I had a crush on one. She was older. She was his older sister, so she didn't even give me the time of day. But come 1988, a little bit older, 7 years older, we ended up dating. And she was born, anyway, she was a twin as well. And she was born on the same day as my ex-wife. Just a weird little synchronicity in my life. I know it matters little. All right, guys, let's dive in. Lesson 55. These are the reviews. We're going from lesson 21 to 25. The reason we're not doing breath work is I think I'm going to dive in at least one of these. I am determined to see things differently. What I see now are but signs of disease, disaster, and death. This cannot be what God created for his beloved Son. The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God. Therefore, I also do not understand his Son. What I see tells me that I do not know who I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me, rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. I am determined to see things differently. This is lesson 21. It's a review. If you look around, you can't doubt that you are seeing disease, disaster, and death. But is this the world that God created? Is this the world that he looked upon on the sixth day, just using a biblical metaphor, and declared that it was good? A God who is all perfection, would he look around a world that was filled with disease, disaster, and death and say this is good? And could we have sinned so grievously just by seeking knowledge, just by eating a piece of fruit presented by supposedly a serpent? Could we have sinned so grievously that he would have cast us out of that world into this world? Or perhaps have we created this world? What do you think? If we've created this world, could we recreate it in its original image? Review of lesson 22. What I see is a form of vengeance. The world I see is hardly the representation of loving thoughts. It is a picture of attack on everything by everything. It is anything but a reflection of the love of God and the love of his Son. It is my own attack thoughts that give rise to this picture. My loving thoughts will save me from the perception of the world and give me the peace God intended me to have. This is incredible news, guys. We have created the world that we see, and we have miscreated with thoughts of vengeance, vengeful thoughts. And yet, by choosing loving thoughts, because only loving thoughts are real, we can recreate the world in the image of love, in the image of God. Review of 23, lesson 23 says, I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. Imagine that. Hey, Matthew. Him. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, I could not see a world of attack. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace, safety, and joy. And it is this I choose to see in place of what I know I look on now. There lies salvation, right there. Lesson 23 in review. We can escape the world, this world, the world we see, the world that we experience, by giving up attack thoughts. Left against right. This race against another race, this country against another country. Attack thoughts. That we are alone, that we are separate, that we are cast out of the garden. Attack thoughts. Forgiveness is looking upon another and seeing only the shared light of our existence, of seeing only love, of seeing everyone in the resurrection of who they truly are and not the crucifixion that we've placed upon them. That's forgiveness. I choose the resurrection of the present moment, and I refuse to entertain the notion that in any way a son, a daughter, a creation of God can be crucified. Lesson 24, in review. I do not perceive my own best interest. How could I recognize my own best interests when I do not know who I am? What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusions. I'm willing to follow the guide God has given me, that would be the Holy Spirit, to find out what my own best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. We don't know who we are. This is the self-inquiry mantra that Ramana Maharshi gave his followers. Who am I? We think that we are Yogi. We think that we are Wessa, that we are Anna, that we are Kat, that we are Squirrel Sniper. We think that we are these images. We're not. We don't know who we are. We are seeing the world through what yoga refers to as yoga philosophy, psychology, the kleshas, those hindrances of the mind. Klesha means hindrance, the hindrances of the mind. So we're only seeing the world through the lens of our attachments and attractions, our aversions, our misidentity, that we are an ego, that we are, if we believe that we are an ego, we're seeing the world through the belief of death, that the ego is small, fearful, and will eventually perish, and that we are seeing the lens, the world through the lens of ignorance, that we don't know who we truly, truly are. We don't even know that we are ignorant. We don't even know what we're ignorant of. And yet, we go through the world very certain that our beliefs, that our perceptions are true, that our interpretation is true. Why do we believe it's true? Because I have them. Because it's my interpretation. It must be true. I see it this way. I can assure you, you can see beyond it. I don't see beyond it every day, consistently, continuously. But if you practice A Course in Miracles, if you dive into yoga, if you devote yourself to Buddhism, if you really study the Tao and live the Tao, you will get a glimpse, and then you will crave that glimpse, and then you'll dive in again, and you'll get another glimpse, and you'll dive in again. I want to say trust me, but hey, you don't need to trust me. But be curious. I wonder if what he's saying is true. I don't know. Find out. 25, review of 25. This is the one Dove Fishman said, this is the all-important one of the all-important ones, one of the most all-important ones. I do not know what anything is for. Nothing. Nothing. What a relief. I've been trying to figure this crap out for 61 years, almost. I know what you're saying. 61? Man, I thought you were 80. No, that's what I mean about perception, guys. I do not know what anything is for. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions are about myself are real. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. You think you are your name. You think you are your identity. You think you are your belief systems. You think you are your personality and your thoughts. Guess what? That's the purpose. You've assigned everything. It reassures you. I'm here. I'm solid. It is for this purpose that I attempt to use everything, everyone, and everything. It is for this that I believe the world is for. Therefore, I do not recognize its real purpose. The purpose I have given the world has led me to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind to the world's real purpose by withdrawing the one I have given it and learning the truth about it. I don't know what anything is for. However, there is something within me. There is something in me, alive, and not just alive, but life itself, the universal inspiration, the holiness of holies, existing right now, that knows what everything is for and will repurpose everything. Look upon something, look upon anything. You might be attacked today. Someone might come online and say, hey, I thought you were 88 instead of 80. Everything is for the purpose the Holy Spirit has assigned it, not what the ego has assigned it. The purpose of Wasa saying that he thought I was 88, the true purpose that the Holy Spirit tells me is Wasa wanted to put a smile on my face, which he did. A very excellent job. And there we have it. Ask the Holy Spirit, what's the purpose of this? Wouldn't you rather have it the purpose of smiling and laughing than the purpose of feeling like you're attacked? All right. What's it says? Well, you managed to banish my hiccups while I was listening. That's the whole reason I started my channel a couple years ago, Wassa. I thought, you know what? Eventually, someone's going to be in need of a cure for hiccups. And I can be here. I can prove a useful distraction. Hey, Constantine. Simp says, the Course in Miracles translates our persona into the reversal of perception, where the intuition reconstruction functions as a bridge from fear to vision. Translates our persona. I don't know if I personally would use the word translate as seeing through it. And it says, there's nothing in me that knows what anything is for. There was something. There is something. There is indeed. Carl Young, hey, how are you? Big fan, my friend. What are your thoughts on occult practices? I have zero thoughts on occult practices. If you use them, if you like them, if they bring you meaning, if they help you in any way, if they help others in any way, if it leads you to see the truth of who you really are, if it helps you live in the loving presence of the light in which you are, awesome. If it doesn't make you feel good, then why are you doing it? Who was it who's saying if it makes you happy? Was that Cheryl Crow? Makes you happy, then it can't be that bad. But here's the thing. It's got to be true happiness. Happiness without a condition. By documenting these insights, first, we establish a state persistence that is stronger than hardware. Principle claims that the observer's childhood insights are the primary source of truth. Not sure I'm following. Did Carl Jung did he go deep enough? I don't know. I got to read the Red Book. I have not gotten my hands on the Red Book. But I know, he broke from his mentor Sigmund Freud. And it says, good morning to Carl Jung. All right. I'm going out for a walk run. As I discovered the other day, Sunday, because my foot isn't entirely healed yet, that and Sunday it wasn't healed. It didn't feel like it was healed at all. Walking was too painful. So I was going to call it a day at half a mile, not even half a mile in. And I decided to. Thank you, fireman. It was starting to rain and it was cold and I was miserable. My foot was really hurting. I was limping and that was causing issues with my shin and my left knee and my back. So I decided to run back in to get in sooner. And I ran for about 30 seconds and I thought, this feels pretty good. It's making my foot feel better. My knee is working its issue out. Um, so I started walking and I thought, you know what? After that short little run, even my walking feels better. So in a few minutes, I ran again and I walked for a while. Then I ran again and I walked for again. When I did my fastest half marathon, which was about an hour 39, way back in the day, I used the walk run method. Every 9 minutes, I walked for a minute. I ran my fastest marathon, which wasn't a very fast marathon. It was, I think, 3 hours and 54 minutes. But I did it the day after I ran 20 miles because I was using it as a training run for an upcoming 50-mile race. And hey, Clark, I ran for 4 minutes, walked for a minute, and did it in barefoot shoes, which felt pretty good up until the cobblestone street section in the Baltimore City Marathon. So this is Galloway's method. If you guys know Jeff Galloway, great marathon runner. He won, might have been the last American to win a gold medal in the 10K. And then went on to doing very well in marathons. Not in the Olympics, but Boston, the big city marathons around the world. Winning some, placing in the top 5. And he developed, his biggest claim to fame, he's probably trained more people to happily finish marathons, half marathons, and other races than any other coach ever. He said, we are born to walk and then to run and then walk. We're persistent hunters. We're not sprinters. We can sprint, of course, but we are meant to cover. We're the greatest, some of the greatest. Maybe not as good as monarch butterflies and certain bird species, but we were meant to migrate over long distances. We're some of the greatest endurance athletes ever. So walk and run. And it says, I'm intrigued by synchronicities. We all have them everywhere. Yeah, cobblestones are. They definitely are. When you see something for the first time, without judgment and assumptions there, that would be everything. You're always seeing everything for the first time. Every little thing. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. Running on them, they do, especially in barefoot shoes. Especially at mile 15 in barefoot shoes with another 11 miles ahead of you. Hey, Joseph. How are you, my friend? So anyway, yeah, the walk-run method. Really good. I followed his ultramarathon plan that he had for 100-mile races on my This would be my my fourth attempt at a 100-mile race, and I had filled the previous 3 times. It was going to be about a week, a little less than a week from my 50th birthday, after my 50th birthday. Um, and I decided I need something really different. Everyone said Jeff Galloway is not an ultra runner. He's great plans for marathons, but you need to follow someone who's done ultra marathons if you want to be successful. And I thought I have been following their plans, and I was not successful in my 100-mile attempts. I think my first attempt I did 66 miles, my second maybe 70, my third on a really tough course, I got another 60 something. And it says, do you experience synchronicity? I experience synchronicities every day, every day. If you devote your life to meditation, this is what my teacher, she shall be nameless for the foreseeable future, called synchrodestinies, allowing your destiny to unfold through a series of coincidences that life always presents you. Everything's a synchronicity. Synchronicity meaning meaningful coincidence. So anyway, I did follow Jeff Galloway's 100-mile plan. And it was both considerably less running and considerably more at strategic times than I'd ever done before. Every 3 weeks, I did double sessions on the weekend. So I woke up in the morning, at the end of the program, a morning run, 24 miles, and in the evening, I did 27. Sunday, the next day, did 27 miles, 24 in the evening. So I had covered over 100 miles in one weekend on tired legs, and I knew I was ready because the next day, Monday, I was tired. It wasn't that sore. I knew I was ready to cover 100 miles, and it was the easiest 100-mile race I had attempted at that point. All right, enough about that. Hey, Jake. Hey, yes, Stott. Appreciate you guys being here. Any questions about lesson 55 in any of those 5 lessons that we covered, that we reviewed? Let me give them once more. If there's no questions, we'll wrap it up. Guys, I'm determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. Hey, Lady Sky. I do not perceive my own best interest, and I do not know what anything is for. I would suggest even with synchronicities, we don't know what they're for. We turn everything over to that higher guidance that resides within. Show me. Don't ask your ego to show you, because your ego will show you only ego stuff. It will show you what you want to hear. It won't show you the truth. The truth is beyond anything the ego can conceive of, because the ego itself was conceived in falsehood. It's a misrepresentation of who you are, what you are. Unless you can ask the Holy Spirit, at least for an instant, can I put my ego aside? Can I see things in the light, in the truth of what everything is for, what everything is, who I really am? You'll never know. As long as you are insisting things are for this way, things are for the self-gratification of the ego, things are here to reinforce the belief that I am separate from you, and that you and I are separate from the source itself. When are you going to see the ego stuff? If you know, you're walking backwards. 21 days until St. Patrick's Day. How many days until the Final Four starts? If there can only be one winner, in the end, there's going to be one champion, then how can it really be the Final Four? Should be the four before the final one, right? But maybe that's kind of an awkward title. Anna says, I feel that I am not aware enough of synchronicities. Well, I would suggest that that is a judgment, and the judgment itself is what keeps you from maybe experiencing the synchronicities. No one can be more or less aware. It's a matter of attention. Who you are is awareness itself. How can awareness itself lack awareness? However, where we put our attention is what we end up seeing. So, coincidence, a meaningful coincidence. We think of it as an improbable, right? But a coincidence itself means coincide, things coming together perfectly. The entire universe is a synchronistic event. Everything has to come together just perfectly, fine-tuned, in order for you to even take a breath. Take a breath right now, Anna, and you've experienced a synchronicity. What is the meaning of that breath? At this point in my life, my big suggestion for everything is always letting go of, this is lesson 25, that we know, including synchronicities, that we know what anything is for. Ask the Holy Spirit, show me. And then be patient and wait. It's 114 fever, okay? Or should I go to the doctor? 114 IQ would be pretty good, right? But as a fever, I'd say go to the doctor. Do you do stretching in the morning, Yogi? Or just walk on your morning routine? I do yoga in the morning. I do my yoga asana practice. Yoga asana is not really stretching. It's its own thing. You can stretch, and it might look like a yoga posture, but that doesn't make it yoga. I have a very intricate morning routine, beginning with a gratitude practice and an act of surrender, followed by breath work, followed by, I go to the bathroom. It's almost 61 years old, guys. You don't know how it is yet. And then sit in meditation. Hey, Flora. Anywhere from 20, 30, occasionally 40 minutes. And then I do my yoga asana practice as my coffee's making. Then I bring my coffee up. I sit at my desk. I put on Cat and Jack. Highly recommend Cat and Jack in the morning. And then I drink my coffee and I write. When my writing's over, I get ready to sit with you guys to go out for my first walk. Lately, it's been the walk run. Then I come back. I do some joint mobility. I do some warm-ups. And I get ready for my workout. Namaste, sir. My homeless abidances. Chat, my friend, how are you? It's nice to see you. I appreciate you coming in. Buell says, thanks, man. You're welcome. And it says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Flora, how are you? Synchronicities are not random coincidences, but rather for sonic artifacts visible only when the observer's internal sampling rate matches the frequency of the first to record principle. Before knowledge, everything is random. As you gain knowledge, synchronicities appear. Interesting. What do we mean by knowledge? Lady Sky's doing okay. She says to Anna, I'm glad you're doing okay. What is today? Today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday the 24th. I have a guest tomorrow. What do you think of my guest last night, by the way? That was Vishna Shahin. Putting a little check next to her name. Kelly Russell is tomorrow. Kelly has a YouTube channel. Kelly and I are going to talk Course in Miracles as well. Let me bring up Kelly's information. Kelly is a spiritual coach and teacher of A Course in Miracles. She has a transformative coaching business, the Rock Your Joy. Carrie Russell, transformational coach. She's a psychotherapist in private practice. The name of her business is Alchemy Counseling. Kelly Russell, holistic psychotherapy. She studied psychology counseling at Goddard College. She has a BA behavioral science at Lesley University. Excuse me, guys. We're going to talk tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I love what I do. I absolutely love showing up every day and doing what I do. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if I ever felt this way before. I don't know that I've ever been this happy in doing something. Because every once in a while, I get a message from someone that some guest in a conversation said just the right thing that made a difference in their life. Can anything be better than being a facilitator and aid and friendship and growth, spiritual or otherwise, in someone's life? Just playing a little tiny role. And then I don't even know, when I make the shorts and the videos, I don't even know who might find them when they need them. That person who said something on my channel, having a conversation, our channel, might have helped someone. Might have helped someone push a drink away. Might have helped pull someone back from the brink of whatever. Might have helped someone realize that they're not alone. Maybe just, I don't know, maybe it was a presence. Maybe the conversation that we're having right now might provide a presence in someone's life. It's just why it fills me with so much joy to be here. It's why I do it 3 times a day. As well, as I've mentioned before, I've surrendered everything over to the Holy Spirit. And I said, this is my sink or swim, my Cortez moment, burning the ships, that I'm here. And this is how I will earn my income, my keep in the world. That if there's a bill to be paid, I will receive the funds to help me pay it. If there's food to be at, that's right, I said at, E-T, then I will receive the funds to eat. I will be provided for. Not from a singular source, but from love itself. From, again, I don't mind using the term Holy Spirit, but you don't need to use it. The Tao. The Tao will provide. Trust in the Tao. Trust in the way. The Tao literally means way. So, it took me a while to get here in this message, in this place of trust. And I'm not there 100%. I'm not there 100%. but I'm working on it. Hey, Anthony. Oh, Sipper says, what size pumps, Eric? The nines. Probably about 9.5 right now. You know, since I started running in barefoot shoes, my feet actually got bigger. I went from wearing like a size 9 to a size 9.5. All right. Wissa says, yep, you found your calling. Thank you, Wissa. I appreciate hearing that. And I appreciate you being here, my friend. Seppa says, we'll remember that. It's funny, the shoes that we wear, maximum cushioning, full support, do not do us any favors at all. We are meant to be either barefoot or lightly clogged. You know what? I have a friend who set a world record for running the fastest marathon in a pair of flip-flops. Keith Lavanesque. You know what? No judgment. If you want to run a marathon in flip-flops, go for it. However, I find it highly offensive that he was still faster than me. In his flip-flops, his feet a bloody mess at the end of the race, he was still faster than me. "24 days until spring. I can't wait." What's this as well? What a night. Yep. My goal was always to beat the novelty runners in a marathon, but usually a novelty runner is someone who's really fast and is looking for a bizarre challenge. So I always wanted to beat the guy dressed as Spider-Man. I wanted to beat the Elvis impersonators. I wanted to beat the jugglers. Running a marathon while you're juggling. Those guys are fast. Pisses me off. Let's see. Sinkbook says they hit someone for saying your skin color is off. Who's they? How can anything be off about anyone? What a weird thing to say. The universe created something that was off. That's a good question. I don't know how the flip-flops survived. I do know his feet was a mess. I know that in Stone Mill 50-mile race, there was a point when you very briefly on the C&O Canal for about 6 miles, and then you go off the C&O and back into the hills, Stone Mill. And how you doing, Sick Bug? I accidentally kept going straight. I didn't take that turn. About a mile. And I had to turn and go back. So I added 2 miles to my race. Keith, the guy that set that record, he ended up going about 10 miles out of his way. That added 20 miles total. So maybe it wasn't 10 miles. Maybe it wasn't 10 miles both directions. Maybe it was 5 or 6. I don't remember correctly. But it was a long distance. And he added at least 10 miles to the race. So he went 5 miles, maybe 6 miles in the wrong direction before he realized it. And turned around and made it back. He still beat me. Now, I wasn't a super slow runner. He was just immensely fast. Also helps that he was a decade younger than me, if not more. Hey, chump. I look and act like your social teacher from 10th grade. It's a little uncanny. You know, all bald guys look alike. We call them thongs in Australia. They must have been the best flip-flops ever. I wonder if he kept them. Anthony says, for some reason, YouTube flagged his message, and I meant to show it because I didn't think it was bad, but I clicked hide. My apologies. You don't have to apologize for that. You too, Anna. All right, let me head out. Take a walk. The sun will be up in about half an hour-ish. I only have a few weeks left of the early morning light, and then things start over again because of daylight savings time. I do not care for daylight savings time. It does not save me any daylight. You lose an hour of sleep. Yeah, you get an hour in the evening of light, but you lose an hour in the morning. The morning time is more important to me. You know, I like that early morning light. That is Brahma Muhurtai, the hours of God. Thank you, Lady Sky. All right, I'm going to see everyone later. Take care. Love you all. And I'll see you at 1 o'clock. No guests today. Guests tomorrow. I don't remember what time, if it's 1 or it's at 5:25. It is at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow is next guest. On the 28th, which is what, Friday? Or Saturday? It's shooting again with Paul Hederman. Paul Hederman of the famed Zen Bitch Slap YouTube page. Check him out if you want to get Zen bitch slapped. Paul Hederman is a radical teacher of non-duality and, of course, miracles, as well as recovery and how it all ties together in its own way. Got a couple people that are lining up for next week, but other than that, environment says you cannot change the clocks. You can change the clocks, but you can't change the actual coming and going of the sun, right? This guy says March 8th, daylight savings time. Yeah, that's what, 2 weeks away? Environment says I don't do daylight savings. Well, here some people expect you to be at a certain place at a certain time, right? So I guess if you really want to hold down a job, 12 days away. So I have 12 hours of enjoying the morning light. It starts over again, but it takes a few weeks to catch back up where it was. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to see everyone later. Take care.